Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, I'm going to do a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. Also for those of us who find ourselves on this channel without any Pisces in anything. You're probably an empath and you're probably needing messages from your soul. Okay. So today is just the energy of today is emotional, I feel. I asked what this reading was going to be about, and I was told the weight and the feelings. So the weight of something, like waiting for something, waiting for maybe someone to feel something. I don't know if it's romantic. I don't know if it's just, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Let me just get the cards. All right. Let us see. All right. Let's get started. Ooh, dedication. I'm wondering if you've dedicated yourself to whatever these feelings are. And I wonder if these feelings are like feelings of disappointment, feelings of possibly even betrayal. There's something that pierced that protection. Um That's not a good message. That's not a good message. The protection circle was pierced. Okay. Before I start tripping. So, manifestation in reverse, whatever was trying to be manifested. I don't know if it's by you or if it's by the other person. It's not coming to fruition. Oh, that's hot. Damn. It's not coming to fruition. It's not going to be manifested. So it's just like um okay, so is one of you are you like planning to get married? Are they planning to get married? I don't know. There's something about wedding not coming to fruition. The safe space was pierced. It was breached. Okay. Uh, the fire and the passion, it's kind of like just being uh okay. Let me just Hi guys. How is everyone? I This is intense. This is an intense message. So it's kind of like whatever is happening, it's being deflated. Whatever plans for like an amazing future, either your plans or their plans, it's just not. It's yeah. It's not gonna. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like I do know what I'm trying to say, but I don't know what I'm trying to say. Let me just move forward. Um, There's an imbalance. So something's going on. There's just not good things going on. This is regarding a relationship that's happening right now. Either the relationship that you're in or the relationship that the cross watcher is in. Someone's watching you, Pisces, okay? Someone's watching you. But what's new? There's people watching you all the effing time. So whoever this is, it feels like it's the cross watcher. It feels like they tried to create this circle of protection, probably because they think you're doing like witchcraft on them or whatever. It's, eh, I don't know. Someone thought maybe you were doing some kind of spell work, witchcraft, or they wanted to be protected from you, meaning, meaning they didn't want to be susceptible to you and your charm, and they're drawn to you. They're drawn to you. That's what it boils down to. They're drawn to you, but they don't want to be drawn to you, but they can't help but being drawn to you. So they thought they could do some sort of circle of protection. Um, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they wear a pentagram. Maybe pentagram earrings, maybe they have a pentagram tattoo, a pentagram necklace, pentagram ring. I mean, pentagram's not necessarily an evil thing. It's a circle of protection in all directions. It's not this thing of like, oh my God, that's devil worship. No, no, no. Has to be upside down. That's the worship of Baphomet. Um, but it's like something you poked them. Can I just say I hate it when people poke me on Facebook? Why do they still have that function? Like, don't fucking poke people. I have to just get that off my chest. They witnessed you say or do something that kind of poke through that protection, um, that barrier. And I don't even know that it's a barrier to keep you out. I feel like it's kind of more like a barrier for them to not feel their feelings towards you. Mhm. Mhm. They don't wanna feel whatever it is they feel towards you, and so, you know, they're, like, creating this whole storyline. Um, I mean, how many of you have actually done magical work or paid someone for magical work to, like, try and get a person you love? Because that's just bullshit. Why would you do that? Why would maybe I'm just speaking about me because 'cause I'd never do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Why would you do that? But at the same time, I do see, like, quite a few different videos on social media where there are practitioners of certain, whatever, that are teaching their viewers how to get someone obsessed with you. Like, are you kidding me? How do you get them to not be? Obviously, they're not Piscean because I feel like Piscean's problem is people are always obsessed with you. You know what I'm saying? They're always obsessed with you. Like, leave us the F alone, yo. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But that's what these cards are telling me. That's what these cards are telling me, that they're obsessed with you and then they're trying to project it and accuse you of being the one to be obsessed with them, and we don't really care. We really just don't care. I'm sorry. We didn't waste our money to do witchcraft on you. We used it for lotions and like makeup and candles and books. We bought books with that witchcraft money. Not witchcraft books, but romantic shit. We went and saw romantic movies without you. That's what we did with that money. Okay, we bought fruit. We bought plants. We created a garden. We don't give a shit what you're doing. But no, that's the storyline. The storyline. Let me just heat my heart up because I'm starting to freeze. Let me thaw my fucking heart out really quick. Oh my God. Let me put it on a carotid. Maybe I won't think such cold thoughts. Let me put my hand heater back. Anyways, that's the storyline. That's the storyline. They said this whole story of a lovely lady who was bringing up three very lovely girls. They were four men living all together. I don't know. I don't know. Something, something. The youngest one in curls. Yeah. They told themselves this whole story, and then boom, bada bing, their feelings came back. So whatever they were building now is gone. They went Pasoy on it. Yeah, they just want you to go away. They just want you to go away. That's the thing. Are you even there? Are you there? I don't know that you're there. They want you to go away, but it's them that keeps pulling you back. Like the memory of you, the thought of you, the whatever of you, they're the one that keeps pulling it back. But they don't want to take accountability for that. They're like, you're doing it. Doing what? Minding my brows? Minding my brows? Is that what I'm doing? I'm over here just minding my own brows. I'm over here just watching videos on Britney Spears' conservatorship ending. I'm watching videos on the royal family. I'm watching videos on how BBLs are done. Oh, okay, natural bodies. I'm just saying, I'm watching videos on dissolving injectables. I'm not focused on you. I don't want to fuck with you. I'm just saying, I feel like what happens when Pisceans and empaths are just done, just done. Whoever is not done with you, it has created this whole storyline of why you're just pretending to be done. No, I promise you. I promise you. We're like literally done. For real. You know what I'm saying? I promise. However they do it, whatever, like, whatever the hand signals are for the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts. We just done. We're done. We're done. We can't even romanticize this at this point. It's just done. Fulfillment. Do you really want it done? I mean, I'm just done with people who are obsessed with me. Okay, I'm speaking for myself right now. I'm done with people who are obsessed with me, who do not leave me alone. People who make it a point to make account after account after account and try and be part of my circle of trust. Yeah, no, you're not trustworthy. So I'm done. But are you guys done? Or are you just saying you're done? What is it? Are you really done? That magic is upside down. So there's I saw this video. This woman was talking about if you write someone's name. I was just cracking up. I was in the bathtub and I was watching this and I was like, girl, I don't know that you should be releasing this type of information into the general public because people really don't know how to handle themselves when it comes to magical stuff. And she's instructing people, you take a Sharpie, a marker, a permanent marker. And I don't know if it has to be worn. I assume it has to be worn to get your energy and essence into the fabric, but you take your chonies and then you apparently write your name on the inside of the chonies. I'm wondering if you write your name on the outside of the chonies, will that make them leave you alone? because I'm more interested in that. Do you like if you were to buy brand new underwear and you keep the packaging and then you wear the underwear and then you write their name on the packaging and throw the packaging away. Does it work like that? Because you know what I'm saying? I mean, logic, right? Logic. I just, you know, or like if you write their name on the receipt so that it didn't even touch the chonies, could you throw that away and then they'll go away? Because I'm gonna need to buy quite a few undies and like make quite a few people leave me the fuck alone. I'm not obsessed by you. um, Let me just stop. Grounding. A grounding. Just ground yourself or bury them. I don't know. Ground yourself. Ground yourself. Just, let it go. Let it go. Ba da 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 da. Card number 1 after the storm. So I guess things finally cleared up. Like the storm clouds are gone. I don't know. Part of me feels like the storm clouds are their attitude. Like their attitude towards you has shifted. I mean, are you even interested though? Cause we could just change up this whole reading. Like, are you even interested in hearing about this person, whoever this is? How much you want to bet this is someone who has convinced themselves to really adhere, really commit. They married into this storyline of you are their soulmate, their twin flame, like you belong to them. You're just in denial. Like, yeah, no, Emmie is in love with me. She's just afraid to admit to herself that she's a lesbian. Oh my god. Honey, honey, even if I was lesbian, I don't want you, honey. Th- this side is still hurting. This side, just like crazy is not my type. At least not that type of crazy. I mean, I do like a little bit crazy, but not like that. Like that's like a pathology. I like crazy wild, like, hey, I don't like hey. Those are two different types of crazy. And you went into the hey. I don't know, not even as a friend. Not even as a friend. Not if I was any other orientation. Yeah, no. No. And I feel like people they've created this entire storm within themselves to convince themselves that you're just in denial. Are you really in denial though? Are you the one in denial or are they? Chick-fil-A is closed today, huh? It's Sunday. Damn. I don't know who's in denial. Is it you or is it them? And with that denial, like, are you the one holding on to whatever this is? Now, I don't even want to ask that question because if I ask that question, what's going to end up happening is someone is going to take that question, which is just a general hypothetical question, and be like, that's it. That's it. I'm going to hold on to that. That's the lifeline. She really actually wants me. And she's just playing this role because her husband's watching the live stream. I promise you, there's no role being played. Um, I really don't like you. I really don't. Like, I just it's one of those things where some people are just so in denial of what the reality of how you actually feel towards them. They're in denial of that reality and they don't want to hear anything. They don't want to hear anything outside of anything that doesn't support what they believe. It's sick. It's a sickness. It's an illness. It's an illness. It's a full-on illness. And I don't know how you're gonna cope with that because now it's amplifying again. Hmm. Fucking zealots. Um, I need to I need to hold up. I need to pull out some shit talking cards because I need to know what this is. It's almost a sense of um like the desperation for you. I you know what? I feel like I'm hold on. There some people just make me feel so uncomfortable. Like just the thought of like they might be watching some of my videos and like my shoulders being exposed is like let me just like no. No. Don't look at any of my skin. Ew. That's fucking nasty. Okay. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's the yuckiest feeling of like just let me just okay. That's like ugh. It's this sense of like any part of you that they could potentially like hold on to that it's just a really sick mind. It's just a really sick mind and they're not gonna stop shit. Okay. Okay. Let me just okay. Excuse me. So marriage, government, or public company, body, corporate, official building, or official situation. This totally goes back to the very thing that I was saying, where it's like they have told themselves this entire storyline of like the only reason that they don't already have you is because you're officially, technically with someone else and it's just a technicality that you're not really happy where you're at that um yeah. Mm, I get mean girl on people like that so they stop liking me. Oh honey. Yeah, no matter how mean I get like I think they like it. I think they like it. They're like, yes, spicy Asian. I just don't like you, fool. I'm not trying to be your dominatrix. I like literally don't like you. I literally don't like you. Okay, 6 of Swords in reverse. Stalemate, unwanted proposal. ah, confession, declaration. Mm. So like I don't know. I don't know. This is not a twin flame reading. I'll tell you that much right now. Okay, this got nothing to do to with twin flames or twin rays or any of that. This is some sort of psychological pathology. Hmm. See, 2 of Cups. They're literally they believe that if they go for it enough, that eventually you will cave and be theirs. I just can't with this reading. I cannot. Michael, grab the fucking wheel. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe like my spiritual vehicle needs to be a Tesla so it can fucking drive itself. I just really don't give a shit right now. It's like I feel like we're stuck in traffic. I feel like we're stuck in Bay Area traffic, 680 heading south, and we haven't even gotten to the interchange yet, and shit's just hitting the fan. Bay Area traffic sucks ass so bad. It's 101 traffic. Either way. Either direction, we're on 101 in California and we just stuck in motherfucking traffic. Fuck this shit. People don't want to move. They don't know how to drive. It's just, I'm about to solo drive in the carpool lane. I got a ticket for that. That was my first ticket. I got in so much trouble. I was solo driving in the carpool lane and then like I was going to try and cry. I got pulled over. I was gonna try and cry, and I was like, "But I can't fake cry." And then I was gonna like try and be cute, and then I was like, "But I can't." I'm like really pissed off because I'm late for work, and then the officer hadn't even gotten to my window yet, and when he did, he didn't want to hear shit. He just like license registration. I gave it to him. He left, and then he okay. I'll take it. I can't explain shit. I was gonna ask him, but like, what if I'm a two-seater? What if I'm carpooling myself in my attitude? You need at least one more person. I was so fucking late for work. And you know what the funny thing? You want to hear the funniest thing? I made it to work early. I But I ended up making it to work like 5 minutes early. I only had 10 minutes left and a 15-minute drive, but I made it to work 5 minutes early and I was driving like I was depressed. And like I'm like, I need to quit this fucking job. It's just fucking up my whole flow. A big teddy bear with a hat. I considered putting a mannequin in the car. Oh my god. But I was like, I think I want to say like I was 17. So, whatever. Anyways, yeah. See, card number 38, restore and replenish. Don't give any of your energy to this person. This person is just fucking stupid. This is just stupid shit. Like, I'm done. I'm done with people who are like this. Okay. I'm just done with people who are like this. Like, they don't need any more attention. They don't. Hmm. This is not anything new. Shock of the new in reverse. This is not anything new. Okay. This is someone who's been obsessed with you for quite some time. I'm just done. I'm just done. I'm done. And I'm fixing to get nasty. Not a sexual nasty, but attitude nasty with anyone who doesn't respect the fact that I'm done. Okay. I think we need to get to that point where we just need to make it clear. Like, I don't find it romantic. I don't find it cute. You're not going to convince me of any of your bullshit story because it's a bullshit story. We don't belong together. I don't do well with crazy like that. I just don't. And if you don't do well with crazy like that, where people are trying so hard to like, I don't know. I don't know whatever the fuck they're trying to do, but it's making me feel some kind of frumpy. It's making me feel some sort of frumpy as fuck attitude right now. And, you know, I think we just need to be very, very clear. Be very, very clear with what you want or don't want from other people. They're going to have their way with whatever you say, anyways, meaning they're going to take that and spin it in whatever way they want. It's just crazy. It's literally like crazy, crazy, like concerning. It's concerning. they don't come from a legacy of light. They come from a legacy of delusion. And we got to just let that go. But you know what? Fuck this whole thing. Yeah, just, I don't even care what cards are there. Let's pull some other cards. We're shifting this bitch. Put this in reverse. We backing up at the fuck out this bitch. Okay. We're pulling out a different deck. Let's make this about you. Fuck that shit. You know what? You're going to keep dealing with crazy people anyways. Fuck them. Let's talk about good shit. We're already aware they're crazy. Okay. We're already aware that they try and take ownership of you. Fuck it. Fuck them. Fuck that. Fuck it all. Use protection. I'm joking. Okay. Okay. No progress. Okay. So here's the thing. You're not making progress because a lot of your energy is being used up for bullshit like this. Like, for real, once you identify someone as just toxic for you, basura la basura. Trash the trash. Okay, just fucking no. Galactic heritage. You have to begin remembering you are so far beyond what you give yourself credit for. You are here for so far beyond what you could even imagine. You have to be reborn from this shadow bullshit, okay? That's not even your shadow aspect. That's basura shadow. Stop attracting them to you. Stop attracting them to you by giving passive permission for their existence near you, their existence within proximity to you. You could be trash all you want, but you're not going to be trash here. Fuck that. Fuck you. You know, just dispel the darkness. We in church right now. Dispel that darkness. Dispel it. Like, really just release it into the wild. Just open your hand and let the winds of change blow. Let that shit like blow. You know what I'm saying? These are cycles that you have been going through for far too long. Stop participating in it. Stop participating in these cycles. That's like a wake up call. Stop participating in those cycles for real. For real. Like, checking to see if they're still obsessed with you. Checking to see if this and if that and if, no. Stop. Don't give any of your energy there. Like, seriously. Pretty much every single smartphone at this point has a capability of blocking a number so your phone doesn't get notified. One of my twins is so super like computer savvy, right? And I probably need to reach out. I remember years ago he was saying there's a way where like it doesn't matter if they continue to use different emails and different social media. Like, you could block the whole connection to any of your accounts. I forget how he said you do that. I don't know if it has to do with, I don't know. I'm not computer savvy. But there's a block function. On all social media, there's a block function. On pretty much all smartphones, there's a block function, and then you just put your social media on private and don't add anyone you don't know. Yo. If I can block people out of my life and I'm a public figure, meaning my accounts must remain public, y'all can do it too. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can do it too. But I mean, how about, okay, you know what? If one of my stalkers decides to comment and I know it's them commenting, block report. That's it. I'm not even fucking reading it. Block report. Before I do that, I screenshot it so I have evidence. I'm not reading your shit. I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't give a fuck what your thoughts are. You're not a part of my life, and that's how it's gonna be. And that's that. That's that. The beautiful thing Instagram rolled out with this, not only can you block that person, you can block every single account that person will make. Oh, yes, please. Don't put that on a side dish, put it on the main plate. Block it all. Just block it all. And the thing is, part of what drains your energy for people like this is when you still try and keep tabs on what they're saying about you, um, like what they're messaging. What I don't give a shit what you're messaging. Just nope. And keep everything as evidence. Every time you have to block something, every time a new account is made, keep the evidence of that. Don't just be like, oh my God, this person is so crazy. Keep the evidence. All of it. All of it. When you tell someone you don't want them to contact you and they still continue to contact you, depending on the laws in your country, I do believe they're supposed to stop contacting you and that there's ramifications if they don't. Like, if you're very clear on that and they continue, there's ramifications for that. And that's the thing, like Pisceans and empaths, we never hold people accountable for their disgusting behavior. Like, "Oh, Emmy, you're taking it too far. They're just messaging. They're not actually hurting you." Um, so when someone continues to message, they're continuing to invade your space, right? It's like they're putting their fingers in your spaces. Does that sound okay to you? Does that sound okay to you? Well, I mean, it's not like they're really hurting you. They're just putting their hands down your pants. Does that sound okay to you? You know what I'm saying? Is that okay? Oh, that's not a violation. It's not like they actually hurt you. Infringement of your space is infringement of your space. And when people begin to infringe on your space repeatedly, you're worth going to war for. You really, really are. You are worth fighting for. That's a statement all on its own. There's nothing additional that needs to be said. You are worth fighting for. And no, you don't have to wait for other people to be fighting for you. You are worth fighting for. And these type of people, they will use whatever tactics they can. Oh, you want to try and scare me with legal action? Go ahead. Go ahead. You want to tell me you have a legal right to continue doing this to me? Go ahead. I'm fucking reporting all this shit. We need to exit out of those cultures where you can't talk about what people are doing to you. Where if you talk about what's being done to you, "Oh, you're messy. Ooh, that's sloppy. Oh my god, why would you air out your dirty laundry?" You know how you look when you tell people that kind of shit? You look like you're supportive of people who are abusive. That's how you look. You look like you condone that type of behavior. Right, how else do you clean it? Well, no, you leave it on your body because it's self-cleansing. Yeah, yeah, um, yeah. My grandma taught me this when I was, like, a teen. Um, she said, "Stop spraying perfume on yourself and take a fucking bath." She didn't say it to me. She said it to my cousin in front of me, and I learned real good, and she's like, "It stinks." Because that was the era of, like, the body sprays, like, Pear Glacé, Tranquil Breezes. Know what I'm saying? So everyone was, like, spraying so much body spray on them, and, she said, "Wash your fucking clothes and take a fucking shower." Not in English. That's what she said, okay? And she used to do her laundry and hang it out to dry. So, Imma listen to what my grandma said because she's a matriarch of the family. Hang your fucking clothes out to dry. Now, granted, you can't leave it out there forever because the sun will damage it. It'll be damaged by the sun. But you can definitely put it out there for a little bit to let it dry. That's how you prevent yourself from smelling musty, mildewy, okay? If people don't want you talking about the things that they're doing, they need to fucking behave better. They need to behave way better than what they've been capable of behaving, and they won't know their behavior is so far inappropriate until you say something. I'm about to start making a list of people's names who I need to fucking mention in public live streams to talk about my life story. Bitches. Mhm. First names only. Wouldn't wanna give you promotion. First names only. Just saying. When you start acting in an appropriate manner, I won't have anything to say. You see how that works? I mean, how stupid would it be for me to have a conversation publicly of, "Yeah, this person is so crazy, like, when I told them to leave me alone, they left me alone." You see how that sounds? Like, "Oh my god, what a bitch. I told her to stop messaging me, and then she stopped." Y'all be making my nerves hurt. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay? Okay. We gotta stop giving people this free pass. Um, yeah, see? Yeah, no. Put that bitch on her head and spin. Spin it out of here, okay? Put the bitch on her head and spin it out of there. Change. Change is coming. You have to allow the change to occur. You just have to allow the change to occur. You have to allow yourself to become so comfortable with being in your truth that you lose your shame about being truthful. What do you want in life? What do you want in life? I want you guys to tell me. What do you want? What do you want to hear about in these readings? Do you want to just completely continue to go down this path of like consistently talking about there's this someone who's not someone, but then there's someone, and then there's this other someone? Or do you want to focus on you and how you need to grow? I want to shift the dynamics of what we talk about at this point. I'm done with this conversation. I'm done with this storyline. It's time to change the channel. Put on a different movie. Girl, put your records on. Da 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 da. Ah, what needs to happen? What needs to happen? I mean, do we really need to keep hearing about the same thing? Do we need to keep hearing about how someone's obsessed with us, there's drama that we're trying to ignore, that someone we want in our lives is just still is not in our lives, and maybe at some point they might not, maybe be in our lives. Eh, I don't know if it's the Capricorn in me, but I can only deal with the tangible. Like, what is actually here? What can I actually grasp? What can I hold? What can I hold in my hand and observe? We can't keep living in this story. We just can't. I don't want to. You guys can, but I don't want to. I don't want to. I want to. We are not ignoring drama if we're talking about it. But if that's all we're ever talking about without providing solutions that are then implemented, then what are we really doing? Do we still need to talk about race? Because everyone knows the issues regarding race, and there's no problems that are being solved by continuing to talk about problems that we're all aware of. See, that's the problem in itself, is that we are aware these situations exist, and continuing to talk about it, what's that really doing? What's it really doing for us? Am I giving this false sense of like, it's enough for us to talk about it, but you remain in the same situation, but we're talking about it. There's no point in having psychotherapy if you continue to exist in the same situation that caused the psychological injury to begin with. You know, when I was having an issue with a landlord, and it like fractured me so badly, right? I developed PTSD off of it. And I'm talking to several. I'm being treated by several licensed practitioners. Several. None of them spoke to each other. They all said the same thing. Honey, you cannot start healing until you remove yourself from that situation. So, until you're out of that situation, all we're doing is mitigating the amount of additional injury you are sustaining as you stay there. I don't want to be a mitigator. I don't want to do any type of mediation type work. Like, that's just, I'm very cut and dry when it comes to people who are narcissistic, people who are hurtful and harmful psychologically, emotionally, intellectually, physically. I'm good off all of that. I'm very cut and dry off that. That comes into the equation. Fuck that. Fuck you. I'm out. Well, no, we need to talk. No, the moment you get verbally aggressive with me, the moment you try and dominate me, fuck you, fuck that, I'm out. No, but we need to talk about, no, we don't need to talk about shit. Let me match your energy real quick. We don't need to talk about shit. We are not talking about shit. Fuck you, fuck that, I'm out. And now I find myself like, we've been talking about this same motherfucker for how many, when did I switch to YouTube? Like 2018? 2018? Was that it? Yeah? Yeah. Fuck that person at this point. Y'all. Y'all, like, it's giving me a case of hypoglycemia. It's giving me a case of it's just burning up the sweetness in my blood. It's burning up the sweetness in my blood, and then you wonder why you're no longer a sweet person. Do you need to pretend to be a sweet person, or do you need to remember the sweetness of your life? I think we hope to change others somehow. In truth, we can only change ourselves. Sometimes not even that. Sometimes not even that. Because when change is necessary, Sometimes we have to realize that we need to be the one that is strong enough and brave enough to initiate and sustain the change so that those who are weaker than us, less capable than us, can follow behind, follow our example, and also choose that change. And if they don't choose that change, that's all good, anyways, because you walking away. I've never asked my husband to change. I've never asked him to change. I have let him know, like, I'm leaving this situation. I'm not staying in this space of emotion, of thought. I'm about to walk. Your choice. Walk beside me, stay where you're at. But I'm not fucking staying there. I'm not staying there. That's that. I'm not staying there. I'm ready to grow. I'm ready. I'm out. I'm out. You can take the time to decide for yourself what you want to do as I pack my mental bags, but I'm leaving that situation. And if you're not beside me when I'm gone, then you're not beside me when I'm gone. I'm not going to force you to come. I'm not going to force you to stay. I'm not going to force nothing. I'm going to make a decision for myself. I'm going to choose what's right for me, my health, and then I'm going to put that into action. And then that's that. And it's never about me controlling or dominating. It's about me recognizing the toxicity of what's in front of me, situation, and being done with it. No one can rush me to that. No one can keep me from that. Because there's been plenty of situations that I've been in, and my husband is trying to tell me, like, that shit's toxic. That shit's toxic. Just don't be part of that no more. It's fucking toxic. And I'm not going to listen until I'm good and ready to acknowledge for myself how toxic it is and implement a plausible solution. Yeah, no, I need to learn this. I need to learn it this time, and it needs to be done. Because, see, sometimes what we do is we continue to run from situations, from learning opportunities, only to run into the same damn thing amplified with someone else, sometimes with the same person. So then what do we need to do? We need to get honest and we need to get real. We need to. The weight and the feelings. Are you waiting for someone to do all of this for you? Are you waiting for someone to feel the gravity of what you're feeling? Because, I mean, what if no one ever does? What happens to you? What if you're in an environment that is like stunted? You know? What if you're never going to get that from anyone in your environment? That acknowledgement, that consideration. Once upon a time, I existed solely in an environment that was not accepting of anything that was fringe topics, fringe beliefs, fringe anything. It was devoutly religious. Um, Everything and anything that I am today, right now, of value for myself, for other people, that was not allowed. I'm not allowed to speak my mind. I'm not allowed to be combative. I'm not allowed to give attitude. I'm not allowed to show up in my motherfucking pajamas. I have to be, say, do, think, feel what you dictate to me. Do you think someone set me free? You think someone came, held my hand, cuddled me, nurtured me, gently spoke to me, and told me it's going to be okay? Speak your truth. I'll protect you. No, I didn't get any of that shit. I didn't have an Emmy. I had to be my own. There was no one around to tell me that, you're different, but not in a bad way. You're different because you're here to change other people by simply allowing them to witness you, that you're a gift. You're a gift. Your existence, your life is a gift to other people. So, I got tagged in a post earlier today. That's what I woke up to. It's on Facebook. It's a potent thing. It's a potent thing. I worked with a family. They had a situation. The 5-year-old boy in their family. He's 5. And he developed a very, very serious, very, very, very serious situation. Life-threatening. I don't know how we connected. I know I first was friends with the mom, who then told me about what's going on with her daughter, who then gave me permission to work on the grandson. She tagged me because she posted this memory 7 years ago today. I worked with them with one stipulation in place. Nothing to do with money. Yeah. I'll help you. I'll help you to the extent that this little boy will allow me to. You can't ever tell anyone what I did or who I am. You can never mention my name. You can never mention what you see, what I tell you. You can't talk about any of this. And you have to promise me you're never going to share. She never did. And then she tagged me in her post today. And yeah. That little boy was supposed to die. He was in a medically induced coma for quite some time. He has a twin sister. They were 5. I told the grandma to tell the granddaughter he has 1 day left. You need to tell his sister to whisper to him in that hospital bed. You need to have her tell him she still needs him. And to come back. And if he agrees, I can reintegrate him. He'll wake up. He'll recover. But it has to be within the next 24 hours. Anything beyond that, the pathways are too atrophied. I cannot bring him back into his body. If I remember right, he woke up the next day. Then the doctor said he'll be in a vegetative state the rest of his life, that he won't be able to hold his head up. He'll never be able to sit up. He'll never be able to eat, much less feed himself. He'll never be able to walk. All of these never be able tos. And I remember telling his mom, fuck them. They don't know shit. They said he was going to die and he's not. This is a second infancy. He began to hold his head up, still wobbly. And he began to be able to coordinate his tongue and swallowing. And he didn't want to eat any of the food. He had to be on a ketogenic diet, counting all the carbs, no sugars. Still in the hospital. And so I made him white chocolate from scratch. From scratch, no sugar. That's one of the first foods he ate, my truffles. And then my husband said I needed to see him. I'd never met him. And so he drove me all the way. It took quite a few hours. He drove me all the way. And this is huge because I was so afraid. I was so afraid. I didn't know if I could control any of my energy. You know why I specialize in the brain? I had to reconstruct his brain. He's my first medically documented patient. And I had to reconstruct his brain. That's why I know so much about the brain. And I went to go meet him. Drove all the way to another state. I get to the hospital and his mom and his grandma are in the room with him. His grandma is sitting in front of the window facing the door. His mom is sitting on the bed with him in her lap, and he has his back to the door, and they're talking to the doctor. And I was like, oh, I'll come back. He'd never heard me speak on the phone before because I would only text. So he's never actually heard my voice before that point. His mom says to me, no, don't leave. We're finishing up here. And the doctor's like, yeah, I know, we're done. So I walk in and he could barely hold his head up. The moment he heard my voice, he was trying to turn and he was trying to control his body. And she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, am I upsetting him? She's like, no, oh my God, he's moving so much. And I only stayed in that hospital for maybe 10, 15 minutes. I was so scared. And I was just talking to them. And he was like wiggling. I sat across from him beside his grandma, and he was wiggling. And he was trying to get to me. I put him in his wheelchair. They strapped him in. And more doctors were going to come in and do some stuff. And so I said, I'll just get going. I don't want to interfere. And I got up to leave, and his mom was like, wait, touch him. No, I don't want to hurt him. I don't know how sensitive he is. I don't want to hurt him. She goes, can you just one finger touch him? I'm like, okay. Uh, touch him where? Like, touch him where? She's like, touch his foot. And so I did. My pointer finger on my right hand, and I touched the top of his right foot. And then his legs started to shake, spasm. And I'm like, oh my God. I heard him. And his leg kept shaking. And I wasn't sure if I heard him. And I was like, I gotta go. I just have to go. And I freaked out. So I left. And the time it took for me to leave their hospital room, go down the elevator, and walk down the lobby, she sent me a video. He hadn't been able to coordinate his legs up until that point. And he was moving so much. She's like in the video, like, oh my God, where are you going? They had put him back in his bed. And he was just like wiggling around so much, bringing his legs all the way up, moving all the blankets and everything. And I knew what he was trying to do. He was trying to leave the room and tell me to stay. But I was scared. I was scared. I didn't want to injure him because I didn't know if I could control myself. I didn't know if I could guarantee that I wouldn't cause more neurological damage, nerve damage. I couldn't guarantee it. I didn't know if I could. This is the first person that I allowed myself to actually consciously help that was so sick. That was like over 7 years ago. He knows how to eat. He feeds himself. He knows how to walk. He knows how to run. He knows how to jump. He goes to school. He still has struggles, but he's recovered way more than what any medical professional said he could. Way more. And I mean, obviously, the story has so much more detail and so much more nuance and complexity than what I'm actually sharing. But this morning, his mom tagged me. And I don't know that I did anything to deserve that kind of honor. But she had gotten a huge tattoo. It's a huge tattoo that covers basically her whole arm. It's of an angel. And she told me way back when she first got it, she's like, I have to show you something. And I was like, okay. And she shows me this huge fucking tattoo. And it's of an angel. I'm like, oh my God, that's so pretty. And she's like, it's you. What? She got a tattoo. I just touched his foot. I don't know that that's enough to warrant a tattoo that huge, especially. But it's this thing of like, she tagged me in that and she reminded me that I'm always with her. And we don't realize how much we affect other people. But here's the thing. We also don't realize how reciprocal that effect is. As much as their family believes I did for them, um, how much did I learn from that? How much did I grow from that? I distinctly remember one day I was driving. At the time, I was in Vegas and I was driving and Michael's talking to me. He's showing me an anatomically correct brain. And I see the little boy. He's standing beside Michael, and they're both telling me what parts of the brain I need to work on. I hadn't spoken to his mom, hadn't spoken to the grandma. Just while I'm driving, it's almost like neurosurgery. And I'm working on the brain, and I figured it was just a simulation, a learning exercise. Until 15 to 30 minutes later, his mom called me. And she let me know that they were finishing up, I think like a deep brain scan or something like that. I forget the name of what they were doing. They were scanning his brain. And then she told me the results. They were looking for lesions, injuries to a specific portion of his brain. And if they found that there, then they'd understand exactly what they were dealing with and then decide the course of treatment. Then she lets me know later. She's like, the doctors think it's really weird. I'm like, what's really weird? Like the part of his brain that they thought was injured, there's nothing there. There's no injury. There's no lesions. And I'm like, what part of his brain? Then she tells me, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interfere. She's like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, I was driving right before you called, and I saw him and I saw Michael, and I thought it was a simulation. I I I thought it was just a simulation, like a learning opportunity. And that's the part of the brain that I was told to reconstruct. And I'm really sorry, like I interfered. Had I known they were doing the scans and stuff, I wouldn't have done anything. Had I known it wasn't a simulation, I wouldn't have done anything. And then the gravity of the work that I do became clear. It became clear. We all affect each other in some way, shape, or form. Whether you're intending to or not, your existence has an effect on the people you interact with. For me, I had made a mistake. That was a poor judgment call. I should have confirmed with her first that I was not going to interfere with any medical diagnostic stuff. I should have confirmed with her first. I should have let her know first. I should have said, wait, I'm not doing anything. I need to call his mom first. I need to make sure she's aware. I need to make sure she's giving me permission. I'm sure for her, I think it was more of, can you do that for the rest of his brain? I can't. I'm not told to. So I can't. You have no idea how magical you are until you remove all the covers and allow other people to witness and experience you. My understanding of the gravity of the work and the purpose I came into this life for only develops with each new person that witnesses, with each new thing that I share, because this is my norm. This is not profound to me. Like, this is common sense to me. Like, a kid needs help, so you fucking help. That's the norm. That is my norm. I see someone hungry on the street. No, it's not like, "Oh my god, how you're hungry? I have $5 for food. Let me get you some food." You should not be hungry. That's my norm. And I don't understand how I fit into the world until you guys give me a different perspective based on how you see me. So it's not you determining my worth. It's you helping me to better understand and recalibrate my perception of myself. And maybe that's what we need to focus on more. Has that been moving the whole time? What the fuck? Let me stop. So, um, I can't control that. I can't control that. I'm just saying. um, yeah, look, my fan is facing like this because my skin hurts. But I don't know. We don't understand the gravity of who and what we are until other people give us perspective. Not as mirrors, but as observers. As observers, observing us in our process. And I feel like we're kind of at a point where all of these conversations about other people and these people who we want to be with, but we're not with, people who want to be with us, but we don't want to be with, like, that's just such a distraction at this point. Such a distraction. It's just such a distraction. And we have to get to a place within ourselves where the focus is our growth and the cultivation of our abilities so that we can best serve in whatever way we are intended to serve. And do we even need to know what way we're supposed to serve? Foxglove digitalis. That's one of the plants that I'm growing. Foxglove digitalis. It's a pretty little plant. It's pretty little flowers. It looks almost magical. It's like the type of flower you'd find in a fairy garden. Foxglove digitalis. It grows without knowing its purpose. It just grows when the conditions are right, when it has all the components that it needs, it just grows. It grows. One of the most potent cardiac supportive medications on the market right now is digoxin. It helps a damaged heart continue in preserving its function. Digoxin, that's the name of this synthesized medication. Saving quite a few lives. It saved my brother's life. It helped to maintain his life. He's still alive. He's on digoxin. You know where digoxin comes from? This oblivious little plant that looks like it belongs in a fairy garden, growing without a care in the world, without any perception of how important and how many lives it will save. It comes from Foxglove digitalis. It's synthesized active components of the foxglove. Do you need to know what your purpose is for you to serve that purpose? The foxglove growing, just growing without any apologies, without any permission, just growing, right? Just growing. And this is like such a potent conversation because, you know, I'm someone who doesn't like when other people try and synthesize the type of work that I do, the words, the phrases, I don't like it. I don't like it because it's like you have your own value. Why try and copy me and emulate me? Be you. Be you. And I'm realizing right now in this moment, that type of logic, that type of emotion is equivalent to the foxglove telling the scientist, don't synthesize me. Don't try and take my active components and synthesize me because, like, be you, do you, fuck the cardiac patients who need me to continue living. The foxglove doesn't have a care in the world. As long as it has all the components it needs to thrive, it will thrive. My foxglove is still green and growing. It's outside of season already. It's still alive. So is my skullcap. They never did blossom. But they're still alive. And as long as you're alive, you can always have the opportunity to modify the environment you're in. Because really, when the plant doesn't blossom, do we say the plant is bad? The plant is broken. The plant is being stubborn. Or do we begin analyzing the environment that the plant is in and making adjustments to that environment so that the plant can have all the components that it needs to not just thrive, but blossom? For many plants, once it blossoms, that's an indication of impending death. But here's the beautiful thing. When that blossom dies, it's usually indicative of reproduction hopefully having taken place and new seeds to be spread by the wind. That means new life. Are you so hell bent on holding on to what you have as you know it right now that you'd rather be an artificial rose than the actual thing? Huge difference between a fake peony and a real one. I have fake peonies. I do. They're in a box somewhere because I see no value in them. I had never seen a peony in the store before. Then one day, I went to the grocery store. We happened to enter into the side where they have the fresh produce and the fresh flowers. So I bought me 2 bunches of peonies. They weren't very cheap, so my husband's like, "What are you doing? I thought you don't like cut flowers." I'm like, "I'm gonna make a goddess bath." Which I did. I did. Peonies and roses. I did. I made a goddess bath and I soaked in it. And it just so happens that house that we were in at that time, um, the owner must have been really big, like, I don't know, 6.5 feet tall or something. Because that tub, Jesus fucking Christ. My toes, like, this is the wall of the tub. I have to point my toes to touch it like that, or else I will either sink into the water or I will slide around, and it was deep. So I almost drowned in peonies and roses. I'm not even joking. I'm so not even joking. I almost drowned in peonies and roses. But what a glorious way to die. Smelling of the sweetness of life. Experiencing for the first time this concept of this thing made in tangible form. And in that moment, I really wasn't afraid of drowning or anything like that because there was so much oil in that tub. There was so much oil in that tub that it was, like, literally dangerous. And then all the sides of this, like, extremely oversized tub were filled with crystals. So if I struggled too much, all the crystals were gonna go into the tub, including my sword. So I wasn't concerned about any of that at all. I was in my environment, an environment that's ridiculously peaceful. You know how common it is for certain types of houses to have a skylight over the bathtub? That's gonna be a requirement from now on. Not only will there need to be a catwalk with cathedral ceilings, we're gonna have to have a skylight over the bathtub because that's just a requirement. Oiled brass fixture, solid wood doors. Those are requirements for me to live somewhere. My husband's gonna be like, "You're crazy." I have standards now. No, no, I'm joking. No, but I do love the solid wood doors with the old brass handles. I'm just saying, I'm just saying. But the thing that we need to really be mindful of is the analogies that I'm making. Like, when was the last time we allowed ourselves to bathe in our own softness? Have you ever been in a tub where the water feels soft? The amount of oils, herbs, and salt that was in that tub, and then it was topped not with bubbles, but with petals and peonies that were floating, like, It's just a really beautiful thing to be able to be immersed in your own softness, to be able to just grow without needing to fully understand and control why you're growing, how you're growing, what you're growing, knowing that when the people who need what you are find you, they'll have what they need. And that doesn't mean you need to be cut down. That doesn't mean you need to be snipped and put in a vase. That doesn't mean freeze dried or anything. The true lovers of the plants are the people who propagate them. Why am I so into plants right now? Some time. I'm working on learning how to propagate anything. Monsteras, juniper, chinesum, all kind of things. Vines, veggies, all kind of things. All kind of things. Why? What is the analogy in that? How is that analogous to life? If you can see yourself as the plant, when you lose a part of yourself, knowing how to propagate means that part of you never actually dies. It just carries on and becomes its own thing. It's like parts of you, your love, your essence, spreading, being shared by others, with others. I mean, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? Where I can rest in the comfort of knowing, if you've been with me for a few years and you've been watching me every day and you come to my live streams and we're always sharing this space together, and then one day, tomorrow, you decide, you know what? You're done walking beside me. It'll feel like I've lost a part of me, but I won't have to worry that you're gone and dead. I'll know that whatever was exchanged between us, that's going to continue to carry on within you. That's going to continue to remain with you. The ways in which you've learned and grown as we've walked together, that's with you. That's forever yours. That is forever yours, and it's a part of me. A part of me is forever yours. And just because a part of me stays with you, does that mean that's a void that will continue to exist forevermore? And it's almost this fear of like, but Emmie, like, there's so many people. You've come across so many people. Like, what's left of you? The plant grows new leaves. It grows new branches. It's like this pruning, nothing more. My roots are established. My roots go deep. Why be afraid to lose things when you know you can grow more? And it's not that the tree doesn't cherish the leaf after it drops to the ground for autumn. Sometimes it comes in cycles, and sometimes the leaves must be let go of. That doesn't negate the fact that the leaf and the tree had a relationship, had a connection. They both grew, they both provided to each other. It doesn't negate the fact that a new season will come and new leaves will grow. And in the time that the tree has no leaves, it does not die. It doesn't die. Sometimes you just have to conserve your energy. Sometimes you have to pull that back in, back towards you to preserve yourself for a period through the cold weather. Like people don't really understand why leaves fall. During fall time, they fall because it's fall. Yeah. How does the tree know that it's fall? Because the other trees lose their leaves. Well, how do the other trees know? When the day is not as long and the temperature is not as warm, those are no longer ideal environments to hold all the leaves. So the tree will choose to preserve itself. One by one, the leaves will fall. They're no longer necessary. It's now a time for conservation. There's nothing evil about conserving yourself. There's not anything evil about preserving your energy when there's so much that you need to do still, and so many people. There's never going to be an end to the number of people who need you. That's one of the things I realized. There's just never going to be an end. So, do you need to concern yourself with counting all the leaves, or do you need to focus more on making sure the fruits grow, that the blossoms turn into the fruits that then ripen and feed the people who can help, the people who have a desire and a willingness to help tend to the orchard? And there won't be any of those people if you continue to hide yourself, if you continue to pretend that you have no fruit, if you continue to withhold the information. That information comes from the experiences you've lived through. So what do we need to do? Stop letting ourselves be distracted. But there's a storm, yeah, to water you with. Storms come and go. They come and go. But what if the storm, has lightning and it strikes the tree? Do you know how mature your tree needs to be struck by lightning? Are you aware? Lightning seeks to be discharged into the ground. It will seek the highest point because that is the fastest entry into the ground. It will not hit a seedling, a sapling, a partially grown tree. By the time you are big enough, by the time you get the attention and interest of lightning, you know how full of a life you've lived, how many fruits you've grown, how many bellies you've filled, how many memories have been created centered around your existence. I mean, we're approaching Thanksgiving. We're approaching Thanksgiving, and that's a time for us to spend with family. And, we usually do it over food. Could you imagine how many memories are made every year centered around the food that's grown off the trees? What if that's you? What if you're that tree? What if the fruits of your experiences that you share are what makes up the feast for all the souls who feel hungry? And these are just things that we have to begin considering. You're not as inconsequential as you think. You're not as disposable. You're not as replaceable. If you were, why are all these people obsessed with you? They're obsessed with you because they can't find anything else like you. I mean, that doesn't excuse stalker behavior. Absolutely not. But hopefully it helps you to better understand some of it. Better understand the gravity of who and what you are, and maybe that leads to your understanding of why you're here and what you're supposed to do. But do you even need that to exist? Do you need that understanding? No. No, you don't. You can be the tree, you could be the foxglove, you could be whatever in between. As long as you allow yourself to be. As long as you allow yourself to be. You know, the trees, the blossoms, they don't fight the bees. As a matter of fact, they reward the bees with that nectar, that sweetness. You know, you're not being asked to not be sweet to people. You're not being asked to not allow the bees to come around. Yes, they carry some sort of potentiality to sting you. When was the last time a bee stung a flower? And then when was the last time a bee stung a human hand that it thought was going to harm it? I remember it's not a bee, it's a wasp. We were at this RV spot and my husband was hooking up the RV and he didn't lift the the cover for the outlet to plug in our RV. That's a huge plug. And he didn't lift it all the way. And, he just lifted it partially so that he could plug it in. And he didn't know that wasps were building a nest in there. And it stung his hand. Yeah, it stung him. I was like, that's not a bee, that's a wasp. I think he was saying something like, yeah, it's dead because it stung me. Like, no, there's no stinger in your hand. That's a wasp. It can keep stinging you. Oh my God. We just have to allow ourselves, really, just allow ourselves. Find some sort of peace within yourself to find the truth of what direction you need to go towards. And you don't need to have an end destination, just a generalized direction to face, to start walking towards. It doesn't have to involve someone else. It usually will involve someone else, but it doesn't have to be your plan. It doesn't have to be this thing of like, it's for romance, it's for this, it's for that. Oh, I need to buy more moisturizer. I gotta go. I think the stores are open. Yeah, guys, today's just like an emotion filled day. A lot of realizations, a lot of contemplations, and look back at your life and see how far you've come. Just look back at your life. See how far you've come. Allow the experiences and situations that that you've had to be the very thing that helps provide you more fuel for your rise. We all have a purpose. We all have a flight path. All of us. Not just some. Not just some people who identify some way. We all have this. Not all of us are willing to see it, though. If you're not willing or capable of seeing it, at the very least, let other people witness it. Let them witness it so they can give more gravity to what you are not willing or capable of witnessing for yourself yet. So I want to share this with you guys. One second. Okay. So it's a picture that the little girl drew. She drew it. She drew it 7 years ago. So the mom wrote, I've grown to realize my son was never holding hearts. Because in the first picture, when she posted it 7 years ago, it says her daughter drew that today, her brother holding hearts to let him know he's loved. So again, show you the picture. So she thought that he was holding hearts, right? Sister drew it. And she says, I have grown to realize my son was never holding hearts. He was holding clouds because his sister knew he was safe in heaven the entire time he was away. The hearts are all the love waiting for him back with us. I had told them it's very difficult for him to come back because God itself is holding him in its lap. He's literally being held, cradled in the lap of God. And I remember when he began talking again. He used to share that rain, the smell of rain, that's how God smells. That's how God smells. So she says, I'll never forget this time of my life. It brought me closer to my faith. I got to hear about heaven through my then 5-year-old daughter's dreams of being with her twin brother there for a while. And then I commented, and so she responded. She says, we pass this church a lot, and my son is obsessed with a big cross out front. He has to make it a point to be like, Mom, look. And I don't even need to ask him why anymore. This child traveled through a lot. Every time that he would reach out to me while he was still in a coma, he was never alone. He always had Michael on one side and Jesus on the other. Jesus is not an archetype. There are really people who come from places within creation that could never be fathomed by the human brain. These are the ones who are willing to experience the most difficult human circumstance in order to better understand the most efficient way to serve. And their gifts. They don't just come into this life equipped with gifts. They are the gift. The witnessing of them is the gift. If you've ever seen the other side, you'd understand why some people don't want to come back. And if you've ever lived on the other side for long enough, you'd also understand why some people choose to come back. At the end of the day, everything is about choice. Efficiency of the options resulting from that choice. Choose well for yourself. Be efficient in the reclamation of your truth. Be efficient in the reclamation of your birthright, your abundance, your power, your protection. Be efficient about it. When you feel it in your heart, you do it. When you feel it as this undeniable truth, you do it. I didn't know this family before I began to help them. I barely knew his grandma. I've told you guys before that that I found a Christ incarnate, became a good friend. I found the pair, both good friends. It was the male. The male, he's the one that introduced me to the grandmother. He was like, you got to talk to this family. Like, for what? You just got to talk to this family. I didn't know anything about them. But because I trust him, because he was present when my energy was going bonkers, he was actually physically present. My energy was going bonkers. And so he understands the gravity of my capabilities. And he knows that's not to be shared with other people. And because I know I can trust him, and because I know he would never violate that trust, he would never bring anyone my way that would violate that need for privacy. Michael says that's a lie. It's not privacy, it's secrecy. I'm going through my stages, okay? I'm going through my stages. Sometimes your trust in someone else is enough. It's enough to suspend, even temporarily, your disbelief in yourself. Michael says to share this. I was afraid to touch that little boy. I was afraid to touch him because my systems had been recalibrated and I couldn't control my energy. I was afraid to touch him because for weeks already, it doesn't matter how far the electrical outlet is, an arc of energy would come to me from the wall. And I couldn't control it. I couldn't stop it. I wasn't calling it to me. This was the period where lightning struck the end of the driveway. A second before I took off running under a covering. I don't want to share more. I don't want to. I don't need to. I think you guys already know enough to make a decision of whether you want to allow yourself to be inspired or not. And I don't need to give more, share more to try and encourage or coerce you into sharing, into being more present, into hiding less. You know enough and you've heard enough to make the decision for yourself. I couldn't share it before because not enough different people were publicly visible. Now enough of them are. Michael, hidden in plain sight. Anyways, so you guys, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I'm not sure if I'll be doing expedites today. I was planning to, but this talk has drained me. It's drained me. It's a lot. It's just a lot. Yeah. It's a lot knowing you guys know a little bit more. And someone wanted to know who the little boy is. His name is Seth. Seth. He's going to be helping humanity change quite a bit. Quite a bit. I'm very honored to be part of his journey, even for a short while. So, I love you guys. I'll see you again very soon. I'll see if I can go live later today to do expedites. I don't know. I feel really exhausted. So I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day if I don't see you later. Bye, everyone.